Hey guys, welcome to another Deck Tech edition for FOW101. Now, yeah, Matt here today showing you the Salt is Real deck. This is something that Italy sent to me. They sent me an initial list. I changed a few cards. We had some discussions, made it a little bit better. So props to Mario for sending this deck and putting the deck that I wanted to build at paper. Generally, what this is, if you've heard me rant and rave about it, you're just doing the Genesis Creation Yamata-Refarth combo to hit your opponent for 4,800 damage in one turn. The best part about this deck is that it can be, and it's very, very efficient, I found, turn 4 kill. So use Liberator wins because she can tutor up your last piece you need, but I'll go a little bit more into the card selection next. Alright, so up first we have Liberator of Wind. The important thing about her is at the start of the game after you resolve mulligans, you get to set the first stone you want on top of your stone deck. So you always want to search for the 5-color stone just to have perfect will every single game. And then on the other side we have Charizard, as she's affectionately named, or Scheherazade, because I'm always going to just butcher that name. So her enter ability is that it lets you search your deck for a card. This is really, really important, and something that cost me a couple games is that you need to find the combo piece sometimes, and the only games I actually lost is because I completely forgot about her enter ability. This is something that you're going to be put in a position where it's like, oh, if I just had a Genesis Creation or what have you, and it's like, oh, well, she flips for 2 win and 1, so I'm going to be able to get that last combo piece I need, and it's a very, very strong ability, and it's exactly what the combo decks needed in this game. So going on to the stones next, we again talked about having the 2 moonstones. These are really just the most important guys for the deck. You run 2 because you want to have an out to Bloody Moon game 1, other than just praying you have absolute cake zone. But setting this turn 1 and then going into either of these, when we play 4 Moonlight, what this does is allows you to tap the Magic Stone of Moonlight for any 5 of the will attributes that could be produced by Moonshade. So if you have 1 Moonshade and 2 Moonlights, you can basically cast everything in your deck, don't have to worry about losing the life, and it's just a really great feeling when you go turn 1 Moonshade, turn 2 Moonlight. And then just to finish it off, we have 2 Wind Lightstones, the Gusting Skies, simply because our most restrictive color is Wind, as you'll find out. You need double Wind more often than not. And then for the last bit of stones, just to get in the extra beats, we run each one of the Pumping Stones. So a little red pure stone, you name red, you can tap it to give Yamata plus 200. And then of course Milest the Ghostly Flame, if you pay 1 fire and tap that, whenever he would deal damage, he deals that much plus 200 instead. So it's effectively another little red, the pure stone. It's just that you have to pay an extra fire will, which honestly is perfectly fine because you're going to be hitting your opponent for a lot. Moving into the main deck, and one of the cards that I'm still on the fence about, but it was actually just really good whenever I had it, so I'm probably going to keep him in there, is 4 Elvish Priests. You need this just for the accelerant, and again, because it's so important that you have the green will, that it's really a great creature to be playing turn 1 for the deck. How do we get our Yamatas and whatnot into the graveyard? We have a plethora of discard opportunities. So we have 4 Knight of the New Moon. So it's a 0-200, it's not really that great, but it's activated as tap, draw a card, then discard a card. So if you have Yamata in your hand, you just want to get him out of there. So you just tap the bunny, get it out of your hand, and you can set up other cards that you most likely needed. Again, I affectionately name it Looter Bunny, and I think it's one of the really great cards for the deck, and one that I had in my initial list. Probably one of my favorite cards from MPR, Forty Thieves. Enter ability is draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. So this really lets you dig into your deck, try to see more cards, really fill up your graveyard. Because again, you almost never want to be playing Refarth or Yamata, because, well, actually you just can't play Yamata, but Refarth or Realm of Pure Spirits unless you have multiples, because you always want to get the full value out of Genesis Creation. I can definitely not stress that enough. And then lastly, kind of the card that I just forgot was a card and instantly made my initial list better. As Club Soldier, just Card Soldier Club rather, is its enter ability is take the top 4 cards of your deck and put them into the graveyard, unless you find another Club Soldier, which then he goes to your hand. So you can actually really start cycling through your graveyard. Let's say you're not in a position where you can flip Liberator, but you want to still put out a chump blocker. Let's let you churn through your deck, have a chump blocker, put 4 cards in the graveyard, and really try to find that Yamata. So I'm so super glad that Mario included this in his list because, again, I just completely blanked out and forgot this was a card, and is actually super important. Perhaps one of the best things about this deck, other than the fact that you just get to kill your opponent, is all the control magic that you get to play, or control spells, I should say. Up first, we have 4 Absolute Cake Zones. I mean, this is also just, it respects burn. It helps you with your control mirrors. It's overall just a really, really strong card in our current meta. And if I'm playing Wind, for how splashable it is, I am very hard pressed not to just auto-include 4 in every single mid-range and or control deck. The card is just so great at countering so many things right now. Up next, for all those pesky resonators that we might counter along the way, we have 3 Xeex. This is breaking my golden rule of having, usually we want 4 Xeex in every control deck that we have, but I found that Absolute Cake Zone is actually more important in this deck. I might go back and tweak the numbers a little bit more, but 3 Xeex seems okay because you only need 1, maybe 2 over the course of a game for this deck. And then lastly, a card that belongs 100% in the deck, and I'm glad to finally have a home for it, Law of Silence. Why is this card so good? In this deck in particular, I know a lot of people, if you hear me say that it only belongs in 2 decks, Tempo and Control. Or, I'm sorry, Tempo and Combo. This is a combo deck. In control decks, it's not very strong. It basically is saying, yes, you skip your turn, but you get to do whatever you want the very next turn. So unless you're killing your opponent in 1 turn or really setting them back by playing another spell with Law of Silence, I would not put it in a control deck. That said, what we can really do in this deck, and I did it once and it felt amazing, is I went turn 2 Forty Thieves, represented that I had the combo in my graveyard. I had Yamata and Refarth. Very early game, maybe I don't have Genesis Creation. Turn 3, didn't do anything. In my draw, I cast Law of Silence, and what that does is it puts them in a creation spot where they either have to counter it, which they probably only have 1 counter spell at that time, or you just freely get to combo off. So I got to Law of Silence my opponent, they wasted their counter spell on it, tapped out, untapped, granted my 4th stone, or called my 4th stone, played Genesis Creation, and killed my opponent for 4,800. It is just so good. As a combo player from other card games, I can really, really appreciate this deck. Sometimes you do just draw dead. I do very distinctly remember one game where I saw over 22 cards in my deck and did not see a Yamata, and that's the game I lost because I completely forgot to flip Liberator to tutor up for it. So I know I ranted on and on and on about it, so let's actually go to the combo pieces. So we have 4 Yamatas. Everyone is familiar with this beefy guy. He can attack 8 times, and it's just overall a great card. How do we kill him in 1 turn? We play a Refarth. So what this does is we bring it back with Genesis Creation, pop it, give Yamata plus 400. So then he is a 600 2000 that can attack 8 times, hitting your opponent for 4,800. Let's say you're going against some more annoying control decks and you just want to find a way to grind them out and beat them down slowly. We play 3 Realm of the Pure Spirits just to protect it from stoning to death, 1001 stories, what have you. Granted, I would always want to make sure I have Counterspell backup as well against the control decks in that case. And then lastly is Genesis Creation itself. Obviously automatic 4 of. This card is just insanely, insanely good. I very strongly recommend more people to play with this card. The fact that you can get back both a Resonator and an Addition Field is just insane value. Like I use my Cthulhu deck to get back Black Moon and Yogg, so then it creates a position where your opponent must not only answer Yogg, but if they kill it during their turn, you're going to get Yogg back on the very next turn and still swing for 1,500. So this is probably my favorite card from the new set, like overall, just from a design perspective, how much you can do with it, where the combos are really going to lay out. And I really think this is a card that more people need to be playing with. So, hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech video for today. Again, special Salt Edition. I look forward to hearing all the comments about it. You know, if you're watching this, I only put 39 cards in, only because there's 1 spot left. You can put a Xeex, you can put a Necronomicon, as I have, just as a 1 of. But I really am not solid on that as what the last card should be. I think it's just a great card to have main deck against the controls. So. Again, test out the deck. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Definitely looking forward to hear more people's results. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot us an email at ggforceofwill@gmail.com. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you guys want to see more deck tech videos. I'm going to be actually doing this one in a live match sometime in the very near future. And as always, thank you so much for all the support that you guys have given us. We're cruising to 1,000 subscribers, and we really appreciate it. So, as always, thank you very much, guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Force of Will 101. Have a good one.